Suzuki in, score!
The Montreal Canadiens are proud to select Ivan Demidov.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a live post-game show of the Curfew Boys. We are live on YouTube and Twitter, also known as X. Myself, Sammy, with my boy Anxious Anthony, coming to us live from not so snowy Quebec. You don't look like you're in the province. You don't even look like you're in the country of Canada right now, bud.
Oh, in the heat, getting burnt. See the tan.
Blah blah blah
wearing
blah blah.
Shorts, t-shirts, shorts. Okay,
Don't show anybody that. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see you in shorts, period. Well, whoever caught a glimpse of that, we're sorry.
Sorry, you got a free show.
No, you're not sorry at all. It's a live episode of the Curfew Boys post-game show on YouTube and Twitter, also known as X. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe, do your thing. Absolutely free. Share this with your fellow Habs fans, friends around the world. It's the only way we can feel the love. All of our episodes of the Curfew Boys podcast available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any podcast platform. We are also very active on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Come be part of the conversation. And last but not least, a big shout out to our sponsor, Habs Cave, the best Habs memorabilia basement man cave you can think of. Follow Habs Cave on Instagram. Our boy Sunil has awesome content every single day, footage and videos of his man cave, or called the Habs Cave, the best place on this planet for all Habs fans out there. So, how's Florida?
It's beautiful. Let me tell
Is
you.
it?
It is fucking beautiful.
When do you come back?
Clear skies every day, sorry. When am I coming back?
Yeah. Never.
I mean, my plane ticket says next Wednesday night, the 13th of March.
Okay.
But my mind and body and soul says
my body and soul says I don't want to come back. Not even close.
We'll see. My ticket says the 13th, but we'll see if I'm gonna follow that.
You know what? Real quick, just how much I got so fed up of the cold at winter, because my better half, she's in Costa Rica for a work trip.
Yeah, what's happening with that? How come you're not with her?
Because I work, she's working there. Hey, listen, she's making more money than me, so in the end, I'm happy. I get half if something goes wrong. No, so while she's there, I'm here freezing my balls off, and I haven't used her vehicle. She has a nice Ford Bronco, and I haven't touched it since I dropped her off at the airport using it. So I started the car. It's a Ford Bronco. It's not a Jeep, but it's anyways. And for some reason, the fucking window kept going down as I'm like trying to lock the car, and it's cold. Today was cold, and I felt like I hit rock bottom with this weather. It's like the moment to have like a vehicle malfunction, especially your window opening, dropping down when it's fucking cold.
It's fucking depressing. Like, life is so different when you're in the heat. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Florida, Costa Rica, Italy, whatever you want to call it. When there's sun and heat, life is so fucking different.
I feel like it is good for the soul, and it's actually, we're not going to open that can of worms, but it's scientifically proven that it's actually good for you. But listen, in the meantime, I think it's scientifically proven that the Montreal Canadiens like to mess with our freaking emotions. That's
far from perfect win. I'll take it, but far from perfect.
Yeah. So the Canadiens. You know what? It's. Let's remind everybody: Canadiens win 4-3 in overtime against the Buffalo Sabres, coming off a kind of like home and away series with the Buffalo Sabres, and tonight's game was huge for many reasons. One, to prove once again that they're in the mix. Two, to get that much closer to the final wild card spot. 3, Marty St. Louis said in his press conference earlier today that tonight's game, we really got to start playing like it's a playoff game, or it feels like a playoff game. And the funny thing is even before he said that, I was at home thinking about, content ideas and what to do and thinking about this team and the game tonight. And I had that feeling like, that anxious, anticipating feeling. Like, remember when the Canadiens used to make the playoffs? So it's like, oh my God, I can't wait for tonight's game. But like, you were excited, but kind of nervous at the same time. I had that a little bit, and not to the same degree like when they did make the playoffs, but like I still felt something. And this game was important, and you said it perfectly. Thank God we won in overtime, but it was far from perfect. We'll take it, but is it going to be another one of those things that Marty's going to say, kind of like against San Jose, where they're happy with the results, not happy the way it went down? That's what I think it's gonna be like.
I mean, I hope that he says that in the dressing room. They got outshot, outplayed. We're like, and this is what scares me. Okay, like, yes, we're in the mix, and I'm happy. Um, I don't know about you, Sam, but we spoke about this a few days ago in our chat that we're excited. Sorry, we're excited to see the progression of this team.
Yeah.
And if they don't make the playoffs, we're not going to be disappointed because
That's right.
we are happy with the progression. But a part of me feels like we will be disappointed because it's so exciting to see how close we're getting there. And just like you said before, how exciting to be back in that playoff fucking atmosphere. But that being said, I'm very worried about Friday. And Friday, as you guys all know, it's trade deadline. And they mentioned it on TSN tonight. We were 4 for 4 in penalty kill tonight.
Yeah, why? Special teams was great tonight. Why?
Special teams has been great all season long. And a key player on that is Savard. And if he's gone Friday, which they're saying that he might be trade bait, it could change this whole momentum of our special teams.
So, well, you could add Savard. You have to add in Jake Evans. You have to add in Yoel Armia, 3 of the 4 names. And it's funny. I think even Christian Dvorak is used on the penalty kill as well. Like 4 of those of your most players used on the defensive aspect of the game are the 4 main guys that are quote unquote trade bait. Yeah. And you know what's funny, Ant? Before the episode we recorded right after Canada won the championship, and I think it was the first game back for the Canadiens. I don't know if it was against Ottawa. I'm trying to remember. But we said these next 5 games are is gonna determine what Kent Hughes is gonna do. Now, I still stand by the fact that we're not going to be buyers. I still stand by that. I don't think Kent Hughes is going to make a trade to add in a player to help them make that final push. But it's out there now that Jake Evans, they're getting calls for him. They're getting calls for him and Armia. They might be packaged together, but it's made public out there that Kent Hughes is not accepting late round picks like a second or lower. He's asking for a player, a second round pick minimum. He's it's not the King's ransom, but he's asking for a lot for a guy that's very good on the penalty kill. Now, as we're winning, we're on a 5-game winning streak,
go. Joey, and a bit of you, because to all our listeners out there, rewind 4 episodes ago when we won the first out of so we're 5 in a row right now, right?
Yeah,
we're 5 wins in a row.
Yeah, the first time since February 26th in 2022. Jeez. Okay.
So we recorded
17 days after Marty St. Louis was hired as head coach. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so basically we recorded after the Ottawa game. Okay.
Yes.
And we had said the next 5 games are very crucial.
Yes.
In determining the playoff spot, wildcard spot, and
Yeah.
also determining if we're buyers or sellers for trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And I said for the next 5 games, we should get out of it with 8 out of 10 points. That was my
Yeah.
prediction.
Yeah.
And you and Joey both said maybe 4, 6. We're going to be sellers. We're exactly at 8 out of 10 right now.
Yeah.
So that means if my prediction is already correct. If we win the next game, it's a bonus.
Well, the Carolina win was spectacular. It was surprising for everybody. You had a feeling they could beat the San Jose Sharks, even though it wasn't pretty. The first game against the Sabres, the Canadiens never lost track. They started from start to finish, and then tonight's game, only the first period they played.
I think this was out of the 5 wins, this was the worst game we played.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. They played better against San Jose, but the not so fun thing about that win against San Jose, it's against the last place team in the NHL, and they bring you to overtime. So, but I do tend to agree that this game was not a good game. As like it wasn't their best win at all. I think this game was worse than the San Jose win. Yeah, I could agree with that.
Okay, so that being said, and all jokes aside of me proving Joey wrong once again, no, all jokes aside. So now we got our 8 points. We are in. I mean, Ottawa. Okay, I kind of
freaking
screwed up today. I was we were texting in the group chat, and I said, "Well, Ottawa's losing 3-0." They're losing 3-0.
Yeah, they were
3-0. So I'm like,
yeah, they were.
Guys, we're gonna be in the playoff spot right now. And then we got close to losing this game, and Ottawa came back and tied with 11 seconds left and went to shootout against the Capitals. But they ended up losing, so they got a point. That being said, we're both tied at 65 points right now.
Yeah.
Right under Detroit at 66.
Yeah. And don't forget the Rangers won too, so they're tied at 66 with Detroit. But Detroit has a game in hand, and that's why Detroit holds that final wild card spot.
So where do you think we're at by Friday?
The position that we're in. God.
So you're Kent Hughes right now, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, you're Kent Hughes. You have his hat on. We are
his bald hat. I have his bald cap on right now. Okay. All right.
And even to the listeners out there watching or listening to us right now, I want to see some comments in the chats.
Yeah, be part of the conversation.
We're 1 point behind wildcard spot.
Mm-hmm.
Trade deadline is 4 days away. We both said it before. 4 out of the 5 trade bait contenders are our special team specialists.
Mm-hmm.
We have been playing amazing hockey with these guys. We lose any of this core, everything just drops. And
that's what I'm thinking.
But that's the thing. So now you have to ask yourself, not you, but Kent Hughes and Gorton, what is their mindset? Are we trying to fight for this playoff spot? Because you get rid of these 4. Tonight's a perfect example. We won because of special teams.
Yeah.
We won tonight because of special teams. You lose the special teams, we're losing tonight. We're not in the mix after tonight's game. You know what I mean? So
1,000%, dude. I was there thinking like there's if he trades Evans and Armia, I listen, I don't think Dvorak is going to get traded. I'm not so sure who's going to want his contract at just over $4 million. Savard's contract at $3 million, you might be able to find someone. The Evans contract is the cheapest and probably is the most valuable. So that's why, and just the way he plays on special teams, that's why he's just so attractive to a lot of these GMs and these teams. But the more I think about it, the more I approach it, you make any of those deals, if you don't acquire a player that plays the same way or is better. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to make a trade because I don't think teams can offer something the same, equivalent, or better. But if he pulls the trigger, something came over me, dude. The team morale is going to die.
But that's the thing. So pulling the trigger, you're telling us fans and everybody that the playoffs this year is not your end goal. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
future, which I'm okay with. Again, I'm okay with it. But we came this far this season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we came this far this season. I don't know. I'm really stuck in the middle, Sam. Like, we both said we don't care if they make playoffs or not this year. Next year is what matters the most. We know we're not going to win the cup this year. We're not contenders for the Stanley Cup.
No,
we hardly beat fucking Buffalo tonight. We're not gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, like, what do you do? Like, what do you do in this position?
I think, look, no matter what, they're staying the course. I really believe it's either
is the course playing a game at a time and see where they're going.
I think. Well, look, look. We're in March. They have 21 games remaining.
21 games left, yeah.
They have 21 games remaining. That's basically another quarter of the season remaining. We're 3/4 of the season in. They're 1 point behind a final wild card spot. They said at the beginning they want to be in the mix. As far as I'm concerned, they're in the mix. 3/4 of the way in, you're there. To me, that's a success as far as this rebuild is concerned.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean by staying the course is just as long as the team keeps progressing, the core members of this team keep progressing. That's what is that a ghost that just walked in? the ghost of Florida passed or something. No, but as far as the progression of the core players and the players that Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon want to take this team to that contending level, as long as they progress, I think that's all they want to see. And the team is doing that. You could see Marty. I think Marty's getting better as a coach as well. It's working right now. They're just, again, they just got to bring in those final pieces.
I want to know what their vision is.
No, we won't. Elias wrote this. No, we won't have a top 5 pick. We probably won't even have a top 10 pick. I predicted we're going to pick somewhere between 12 and maybe 14, 15.
I still predict that we're not going to make the playoffs by fucking 2 points.
It's very possible. It's very possible.
But that determines what we do this Friday. Because like I said, I want to know what their like, okay, you said it. We're in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the goal was at the beginning of the season. We're going to be in the mix. We're here. We're in the mix. It's a fact. We're there. But what's the end goal? Are they trying to make playoffs, or is Gorton and Hughes?
I think this year, if they make playoffs, it's a cherry on top.
100%.
That's for this season. I think next season, they listen. Right now, there's 2 big question marks. Actually, there's 3. There's kind of 3 big question marks here because after Nick Suzuki at center, right now with the injury of Doc, the big debate about him is he really a centerman, and is he still going to remain after his 1 year left on the contract? Is Jake Evans going to resign? And Dvorak is gone. So maybe we're looking at Owen Beck now that's playing, and he's showing signs that he could be in the NHL. Maybe not a top 6 role, but a defending role. But again, you have to ask that question. If he's going to replace Dvorak, is he ready to take a role on special teams, on the penalty kill? Is he ready to take those important faceoffs in the defensive zone when there's like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, or 5 or less than 5 minutes left in the game, and you're only up by a goal? Like, are you able to put him, like, is he going to be ready for that? He's still a rookie. He's mature for his age, but again, they have to evaluate that. So if you don't bring back Jake Evans, but you don't trade him, like the Kent Hughes, Gordon, and
has a lot of value right now. So
it's nuts.
Either you re-sign him or you trade him now. Like, this is, I don't want to screw up the whole. Okay, it's nothing close, but similar. The whole Primo situation. He had a lot of value last year when he played very well, and now he completely lost his value, right? I don't think he lost his value.
It's I think what we all have to realize is that he's on a contending team. He's at best a 3rd-line centerman. But on the Canadiens, he's playing 4th-line center, and he's doing that. He's playing that role perfectly, and he's only doing penalty kill. He's not, you know what I mean? Like Elias is saying here, and it's been made public. He wants $4 million for 5 years, that according to the rumors. It's like, Oh, I don't know, man. You're paying a guy $4 million a year. It's fine, you're pushing it, but for 5 years, when that contract ends and he's 32, 33 years old, a bit.
No, I don't want that contract, but at the same time,
It's
I think this is bad timing, right? Because
terrible timing.
we're not like I would do that in a second if we're gonna win the next 2 seasons, right? If we can feel that Montreal would win the Stanley Cup this year or next year or within the next 3 years,
Yeah,
then
probably.
fucking give him that fucking money because
That's not a bad point.
is your key guy to make you win. But if we're not gonna win or have no intention to have that team to be contending in the next 3 seasons, then no, don't give Evans that number. But also, we need to again. I don't want to get rid of him, like I mentioned
Yeah.
the points before.
Mm-hmm.
But this is his high right now. Evans has the highest value, like
Yeah,
it
this.
was 2 seasons
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to get rid of him now, or you're signing him now.
But you gotta. But again, you can't get just another first round pick in return. This is just my opinion.
No.
We have so many of those. We have way too many picks right now. It's like, yeah, it's great to get all these picks, but at some point, if you're waiting for all these players to be ready and to develop and all that, like you're kind of delaying. Like Michael Hage, we love the kid. We love what he's doing in Michigan. First round pick. He's not ready next year. He's got to play one more year in college, and then after that, they're going to sign him. He's probably still going to have to play another year after that in the minors just to kind of get a feel for what it's like to be in the pros. Unless he develops and destroys college hockey, it just shows like no, he's ready to make the NHL, kind of like Lane Hudson did. But I'm not so sure about that. It's possible, but I don't know about that. So that's why, like, if the Canadiens trade Jake Evans, it has to be for a player that plays the same way or better. And he's got
that. You have to get that from someone that's not contending this year because you're not going to get rid of.
I think you can. But again, it won't be that same. It won't be the same age. I think it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to find unless it's the same age or maybe a year older max, but that maybe has, I don't know, 3 years left on this contract. Because there's no way Kent Hughes trades Jake Evans or even Yoel Armia or even Savard for any player that just has 1 year left on the contract that finishes this year. There's no way it's happening.
And there's no way Hughes or Gorton is trading for picks anymore. Like you said before, we have too many of them. I think now we're at that stage where we need to find players to help us in the future not grow. Because that the rebuild stage, we're still there, but
we're still there, but
we're not at the beginning of it.
Slowly. We're not doing like the Buffalo Sabres. They've been rebuilding since drafting Jack Eichel. That was almost 10 years ago. I was like, what, the 2015? He was second. Was he second overall after McDavid? We're not doing like the Buffalo Sabres. We're not doing like the Arizona Coyotes now that are the Utah Hockey Club. No, like we rebuild. They got a bunch of pieces. I think what they're gonna have to do is if they do get this draft pick, if they do get a draft pick, we're just shooting the shit here. They better use those picks to go get a centerman that's in a team that's like, you know what, maybe you deserve a chance on a team that's up and coming, rising. You could be a leader. You could be a veteran presence for them, and we're gonna probably start rebuilding. I don't want. I would think not Ryan O'Reilly or even Philip Forsberg. Those guys are really they're approaching 30 or over. They kind of want to win now because players like them probably feel like their opportunity is coming to an end. But if you find another 27, 28-year-old that could do a second line center role or does a shutdown role, you know, they have to listen. A guy like Rantanen, forget it. We're gonna have to pay over $15 million to get him, especially to come to Montreal and the province of Quebec. So it's this week, but this is why this week NHL week deadline always makes me fucking anxious, and especially now that with the Canadiens where they are, especially now with the Doc injury and these Jake Evan rumors and the packaging with Yoel Armia, like I don't know what the heck is gonna happen, man. I really don't know.
Well, it all depends on their vision of what their intentions are, right? You don't. Okay, someone like, and I don't know if you would be still interested in this, but someone like Zegras.
I want McTavish more than Zegras now. I think Mason McTavish. You know,
but see, but a team like Anaheim right now, who's fighting for a wild card like us,
yeah,
probably would benefit from an Evans or Zegras.
But they're still in the rebuild too, though. Like they're not far. I mean, they're 6 points out. I mean, it's not impossible, but
yeah, but I see Evans wouldn't go to Anaheim. Evans wants to go.
No. Like it's gonna be, man. It's look. I know New Jersey is big on him. New Jersey wants him, and New Jersey wants. I think New Jersey wants Jake Evans. And, you know, Kent Hughes has done dealings with New Jersey. Like, can you imagine New Jersey with Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, and then Jake Evans as their third liner?
But see, Sam, you said before you hope to get rid of Evans for someone who's the same or better. No contending team will get rid of that.
No, they won't. I don't think they. But this is also why Kent Hughes also made it clear that, hey, if you're not going to give us what we're asking, we're good with keeping him. And I truly believe if he's saying that, maybe a light bulb just went off, and I'm having the Kent Hughes bald cap here. I don't think Kent Hughes is gonna let a player walk away that easily.
No.
This just hit me right now, live in the flesh here. If he's saying it's okay for me to keep them, like, listen, he could be.
That's what I was saying before.
Excuse me.
Hughes and Gorton in a position where we're not trading for picks anymore, just to get.
No. But like,
now we're building the team. So yes, you're not getting rid of Evans just for free.
I don't. But see, I don't think he's gonna let him walk that easily either.
No, you're gonna get something big in return. We need a name.
Or they're gonna find a way to sign him.
But that's that again.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, so let's go back to before. Two things here. I think we're in a position where Gorton and Hughes will not get rid of. Like we're still in a rebuild stage, like I said before. But we're at the next level of rebuild, meaning we're not trading for picks anymore. We have too many of those. Now we're gonna use our picks to get names like the Carriers, like players that are gonna help us.
Oh, I think so.
Grow, right?
1,000%.
Evans, if you're gonna get rid of Evans, you're getting someone like you said, similar or better. So it's going to be hard to get rid of him for a contending team because no one's going to get rid of players. But that being said, if you're going to re-sign Evans, like we mentioned before, I don't want to give Evans the money he's looking for.
No, but maybe they could find a way to listen. Like let's say you sign him for 4 years. If you could bring the cap hit at like $3.5 million, let's just say, but you pay him the first year. The first year of that contract, you pay him like $5.5 million. Like just give him that, but then it drops as the years go by. Let's say you sign him for 4 years, where if you average out at $3.5 million, like that's not bad. Even if you have to pay him like
the problem is
like it doesn't affect the cap. You get what I'm saying? If the cap hit is $3.5 million, but that first year you're paying him 5.5 or maybe even 6, whatever. I'm just shooting random numbers here. But if it averages out at 3.5, it just drops as he gets older and as his role stays the same or starts diminishing a little bit. That's not bad either. That's the direction I hope they go with.
Yes. But then, what worries me is that, again, if you're going to sign a player like Evans, it's because we're contending in the next 2 to 3 seasons.
Well, I think next year is going to be the year where it's like, no, guys, like now it's time for playoffs. You don't.
Evans is the type of guy who we need. He's a fourth liner that's going to help us win. He's not a fourth liner, you know what I mean? And again, this is his contract year. Is he playing the way he's playing because he wants the money, and then after he drops again? That's what I'm worried about. Again. If you're going to sign Evans, it's because we're telling this guy, hey, we're going to give you the money.
You're going to help us make playoffs. I think so. I really think that's where they're going to be next year. And I think they're going to and don't forget, you have Ivan Demidov too that's coming, huh? Like, you know what I mean? And not to put all that pressure on him, but I think he's got enough skills to help this team win. Like even in his rookie year, like Lane Hudson is doing it.
Yeah.
As a defenseman, who reached 50 points, the fastest, probably he beat Chris Chelios, the fastest rookie defenseman to do that, 50 points in 62 games, something like that. Yeah, imagine he's a defenseman, like, and I love Lane Hudson, but I think Ivan Demidov has a bit more skill than him. I think based off what
Hudson didn't hit 50 yet, did he?
Don't forget 2 points in his first 2 games last year, against Detroit.
Hold on, wait. He's at 46 points, no?
No, he got 2 tonight. He's at 48. But don't forget,
48. Okay.
But don't forget, he's got he remember the end of last season. He got the 2 points against those final 2 games against Detroit. So like it still counts. Like he's at 66 between 60 and 62 or whatever. But no, next year they're going to be aiming for the playoffs. And look, I'm gonna say this. I love what Alex. Yeah. I'm gonna show this next year. We are aiming for the playoffs 100%. I think Evans might want to stay with the group and take $1 million less for it. Kind of sucks for him to leave right as we start being a winning team. I'm gonna say this, Alex, and everybody listening. I think Evans's agent is screwing things up. I have no proof. I have no insider information. I'm going with gut feeling here. This is what we do. We have no insider thing. I have the strongest feeling his goddamn agent is screwing everything up. I have a freaking feeling. I have I think his agent, I'm not going to reveal his name. I don't even remember his name, but I remember checking. He only has DeMello from Winnipeg as another client too, according to one of the websites, Puckpedia. Anyways, I have a feeling, I could be wrong, but I have a feeling Jake Evans' agent is screwing things up because Jake Evans wants to stay with this team. When he was asked a couple of times, like, do you think, with the rumors circulating, you see it's eating him up inside. He wants to stay here. He loves this group. He loves this team. He loves this city. And how can you not? How can you not with a coach like Marty, a captain like Nick Suzuki, Cole? Look at how Slav is playing. Now Lane Hudson comes in. Owen Beck, that he knows he can mentor one day. Oh my God! Like they built such a family bond. Like how could he want to leave that?
I've been saying that since day one. The way this team is being built, it's from core. Again, they're building a core, a family chemistry from day one.
Yeah.
I think everybody in this team loves what they're seeing and feeling, and no one wants to leave what they're experiencing. And I like what Alex just wrote, and I like what you just said, Sammy. I don't think Evan wants to leave, and to go to a contending team. Yes, he might want to win now, but if he can win with this team that he almost won in 2021 with, and try to help these guys win in the next 2-3 seasons, why not stay and take a pay cut? Again, this team is being built properly, and I don't know. It's going to be a tough week for Gorton and Hughes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one thing that I feel confident about is that we don't have someone like Bergevin. I'm sorry I keep bringing him up, but
you and Zook, you keep bringing him up like it's
no, because he was getting he was trading with emotion and trading without thinking, without proper thinking, without knowledge. Hughes, if he's gonna get rid of a player, it's for the right reasons and for the right moves. He's the type of guy that is gonna say, like you said before, he's telling the whole league, you want him, give us what we want for him.
Yeah.
Or else we're not budging. Bergevin said, oh, you want him here? Here's a bag of pucks with him too. Like, that's the only thing why I feel very confident about this week.
Yeah.
More than ever in the history of the Montreal Canadiens. Trade deadline or July 1st, I'm never worried because we have the right group of people in management to make the right moves. Whatever decision is behind that move, there's a right reason behind it. Let's go back to Mitchkov's situation. Okay, yes, we all got mad and we all got this, and Joey's still pissed, and whatever the case may be. But behind every move that Gorton and Hughes do, there's a valid reason behind it, and there's everything happens for a reason, and I think they're doing it for a good cause. That's all
Oh
I'm
well,
saying.
I mean the cause is to win the cup, but dude, the Mitchkov decision. Like I watched David Rybacker's of the few games that he's been back since that injury. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to the Laval game Wednesday night. I can't wait to see him finally play an actual game. I'm telling you, this kid's good. He was what he was advertised as. Nothing flashy, but he makes a great first pass. He's smart defensively. He's not afraid to hit, and he can and he could sneak on the offense as well from time to time. He's coming in I'm telling like I'm going to go ahead and say this, and we're not going to get in the whole Mitchkov debate. You draft Mitchkov, you don't draft Demidov. We drafted Demidov. He's going to be better than Mitchkov. Point final.
Not only
But
that, if you get Mitchkov, you don't get Demidov. You got Reinbacher, now you have Reinbacher and Demidov. It's two better than just having that one. Right?
Well, you have Reinbacher and there's Lane Hudson and maybe Mayu too. Like, well, there's good things coming, but I want to ask you this. I've been talking a lot about like gut feeling here. What does your gut tell you about? Do you think tonight is the last time we'll see Jake Evans play at the Bell Center? Because the Canadiens play Thursday night against the Edmonton Oilers, and then Friday's a trade deadline. But do you think tonight was the last night the Bell Center crowd sees Jake Evans in a Habs uniform? What does your gut tell you?
I think he stays.
Okay. I think so too.
I think he stays.
I think he stays, but I think somebody's going. And I don't know who. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. I really, really don't.
And you know why I say he stays? Actually, I don't know. Because because look, look, I'm not gonna lie. Tonight's game,
mm-hmm.
and maybe I'm generalizing it, and maybe I'm kind of like a little Joey right now, but the way we won tonight was very disappointing. And then you ask yourself, can this team win a playoff game the way they play tonight? But then you see them against Carolina and San Jose and everybody else. Are like, we have the team. So I'm like, I have mixed emotions of our team.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's still growth. There's still growth to be involved, experience, all that stuff. So it's like, I think the group, they're very excited right now. We had a great season. We started slow. We had a lot of rough spots at the beginning. We all got confused of what the fuck just happened because at the beginning of the season we expected an explosion. We were all complaining, "Oh, where's the mix?" And
a lot of people wanted Marty St. Louis' head at one point.
Exactly, and then come December, everything just fucking 360.
Well, it started with Laine coming back and getting goals on the power play.
Laine, Heineman was just a big shocker.
He was the glue. The glue.
That's Jesse wrote that at the beginning. Thank you for that comment. He is the glue because the moment he left for those couple of
glue. Games, absolutely.
The moment he left those couple of games, we went that losing streak. Because take that losing streak away, 9 out of 10 games.
Yeah,
Heineman,
we could be, but it also again, I look back at the other teams too. Like Columbus kept winning, Detroit started winning too, slowly. Ottawa was doing like us, going up and down. The Rangers, while we were winning, the Rangers were losing, and then when we started losing, the Rangers started winning, and now here we are. So
Answer your question, sorry, just to finish my thought before, is it the last time we see Evans? Again, it all depends on the vision the management has. Like, are they looking at short term? Are they looking at mid term?
Well, it's long term. I think right now it all depends on.
No, now we're at a different level here. There's short term and long term, and now because of the position we're in, there's also mid term. I'm looking at it this way. So short term is there's no short term because we don't want to win now. There's no winning today. We're not winning this season. We're not going to the Stanley Cup Finals this year. It is what it is. So there's no short-term moves.
No.
There is a long-term vision, but there's also mid-term because look at what we're witnessing. We do have a good team no matter what anybody wants to say. We're underestimating this team. We are. We're all underestimating this group of boys, okay? Or guys, or they're boys, they're kids. They're still kids.
Yeah, they're kids.
Underestimating because I think we do have a great team as a whole that can play good hockey. We've witnessed it.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing it right now. Another 5-game winning streak on top of what we saw in December and January until that whole big losing streak. Is Evans leaving? If he stays, hear me out. If he stays, then what they're talking about in the upstairs right now in management is that we want to try to make the playoffs this year. I think we want to make the playoffs this year, and we want to win in the next 2 to 3 seasons. Because keeping someone like Evans,
of course,
player,
of course,
they want to win midterm. That's what I'm trying to say. The whole midterm comes from Evans is your midterm guy, because he's not a long-term guy. He's gonna be what is the third? You know what I mean? He's not
he's not gonna be long term like your Suzuki's, and it's because he's older right now. He's at that stage. He's at that stage in his career where like he's fine. Like he has the possibility of testing free agency and probably making the most money he ever even dreamed of.
Can you agree that if Evans stays, it's because they want to win the next 2-3 years?
Well, if they want to sign Evans because they know they need him to make the playoffs and they want to make the playoffs next year, I could bet every dollar I have that's what they want to do. But again, if they do trade him, at the deadline, it's for 2 reasons. It's because, one, there was no way they were going to get a deal done, so they had to, and so they had to get something in return, and maybe they get an offer that they can't refuse. We're just spitballing here, but again, even if you do trade him for the same type of player who has a bit of a not a long-term contract, but more of like a 3-4 year contract at a decent cap hit that could play the same role. If it's a younger player, it's going to be at a team that's like, listen, we're willing to sacrifice this young guy for a short-term goal, which is we have a strong chance of winning the Stanley Cup this year. That's the only team that if they want to trade Evans to a team, if a team is going to offer a player and the Canadiens are like, no, we want this young prospect because he's established. He can play in the NHL. He's established himself at the age of 23, 24, whatever. But you know what? But that could still play either a second line role to replace Doc or maybe a third line role, but he's still going to play good hockey. Maybe that team is willing to give that player up because they know with Jake Evans, they have a much better chance of winning the Stanley Cup this year. Kind of like what Winnipeg did with Monahan last year. They did with Monahan. They did with Toffoli. They thought they had the chance. It didn't work out, but and look at the team the way they are now. So like you can't blame them. That's the type of move I think is going to happen this Friday if it were to happen.
What about? I mean, no one's talking about him, and he's not part of the trade bait or rumors. But someone like Liney, who's a power play specialist that can help a playoff team. Do you see that happening? Is that a possibility?
Look, dude, anything's possible, but with that $8.5 million contract, whatever it's at, they're gonna have to retain. Like, there's no way a team's gonna take on that contract. It doesn't matter.
I love Liney. That excitement. I don't know. He's just a power play guy, which is fine because we need a power play guy. But I thought he was more than what we're witnessing this year. Is it maybe he's not there yet? He's not confident yet.
I think it's conditioning. I think I don't think he's at 100%. That's what I personally believe. But again, next season, him and Doc, it's their last chance to prove something. It is at the end of the day, we could love them all we want, but if you're not going to help this team,
I wouldn't be disappointed if Liney leaves. You know what I mean? He hasn't really, like, I don't know. Again, there's for sure. There's a game. Well, it so many things happened to him. Like he wasn't in a good place mentally at the start of it. Montreal Canadiens, brand new, fresh start, gets that injury. That didn't help at all. So like, I just don't think he's in peak conditioning shape. I don't think he's 100% healthy either. But there's a couple of games where it's like, man, he looks great. There's another couple of games where it's like he's just there. Like but that's who he is. He kind of used to be like that in the NHL, but like, yeah, he is a power play specialist. To answer that question, is that a possibility? I mean, fuck, anything's possible nowadays. But
I think it's very unlikely just because that contract is way too big.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Real quick before we slowly call it nights, like I'm looking at the schedule this week. The Hurricanes play Detroit tomorrow in Detroit, so we're gonna need their help. Tampa Bay plays Columbus as well. Both those games Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Trying to see other games that could impact. Then on Wednesday, it's the Capitals against the Rangers. Hopefully, the Capitals beat them in regulation. But then Wednesday, the Senators play the Blackhawks. That's not good for Habs fans. And then Thursday night, the Thursday night is three massive games. Actually, you could Thursday night is gonna be panic night because you have Utah Hockey Club playing Detroit. You have the Florida Panthers playing Columbus. You have Winnipeg Jets playing the Flyers, Hurricanes playing the Bruins, and then you have us playing the Oilers.
Imagine everybody losing when we win.
That's everybody that's fighting for this spot. Like, mind you, Philly is only 3 points behind us. So even if they win on Thursday, when do they play? Well, look, I mean, they play tomorrow against the Flames, so you kind of hope that Calgary does us that favor, and then the Jets on Thursday. It's mostly the Bruins we got to look out for. Bruins game.
There's still a lot of hockey left. I mean,
there is not. Oh my God!
Continue this road the way we're playing.
The
we
Bruins
can even catch up to Tampa. We're 9 points away. It's not far.
I mean, they'd have to go on a major losing streak. I don't think that's gonna. Oh my God! The Bruins play Nashville tomorrow. Oh, God damn it! That's not gonna be good.
It's too bad Ottawa got that extra point.
Yeah, I'm so upset about that. Like, if Nashville. I highly doubt that's gonna happen. But if Nashville helps us out, oh yeah, man, we're like Habs fans everywhere. We're gonna be paying attention to this week because so many things can be determined leading up to the trade deadline. But no, you know what? Listen, at the end of the day, we're happy we won. We didn't really talk much about the game, but we're gonna get to this. Nick Suzuki, man, Molson Cup winner, February, third star of the NHL. 4 points tonight. 4 points. 4. You got points on all 4 goals tonight. Fucking, he's the captain. He's a top line centerman. The point per game player.
I can't believe there's one thing we didn't talk about, and that should have been the first fucking thing we spoke about tonight.
That's okay. Listen, we saved the best for last. Nick Suzuki, man. I'm telling you.
No, not Nick Suzuki.
Not Nick Suzuki. Oh my God. Cole Caulfield reached the 30-goal mark. Of course. Again, we saved the best for last. But hey, Cole Caulfield gets 30. Finally. I mean, we all knew it wasn't a question of if it's ever going to happen. It was always a matter of when. When was it ever going to happen? Dude, Cole, man, we all love him, and he finds ways to score, dude. That's what I love to see. That top line, that Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky line. Slav 2 points. Slav 2
first time hitting 30 with Montreal.
Yeah, it's his first time with 30 goals.
Fuck, I forgot. I thought it was okay. Last year was 28 goals. The year before 26.
Yep.
Holy shit! This is the first 30 goals.
It's the first time in his career. Well, listen, last game against Buffalo, he hit a career high of 29, and now tonight, he basically hit 2 milestones in 2 games, a career high, and now a first time 30 goal scorer. It was coming. It was coming. It was a matter of time. Cole Caulfield fucking pops in 30 goals, lights a lamp 30 times.
Still didn't get assists, but last year he hit the 33 goals.
Last year was his career year for goals. This year, not as much, but he's really focusing on that point. Not focusing, but Nick Suzuki's making it clear, man. He's sending messages to management. We're hungry. We want to make the playoffs. He's so, dude. Nick Suzuki's so laser focused right now. It's not even funny. It's not even funny.
But that's the thing, and this is why I don't see Evans leaving on Friday. I don't see it happening because I think this team, this core, is telling everybody, guys, you're underestimating us, and we're making playoffs this year. Watch us happen. watch, we fucking underestimate everybody, and we're gonna make to the second
Dude,
round.
can you imagine?
This is what
Can you
they're sending
imagine?
in this room.
Can you imagine they make wild card in like the final game of the year?
I'm telling you, it's gonna go
Can
down
you?
to the wire.
So we're either gonna be ecstatic or we're gonna be super heartbroken.
But
At the end of the day, it's a success as far as the rebuild concerned and being in the mix.
Yeah, but if we don't make it like the way I feel like we're not gonna make it, I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be disappointing, but it's still a success. It's a as again as far as this rebuild is concerned. We the last 3 years we were bottom 5, bottom of the barrel, and then you go from that to a season like right away. You jump from being bottom 5 to like, oh my god, you're almost you either barely make the playoffs or barely don't make it. Like that's a massive improvement on so many levels.
No matter what happens come April, no matter what happens come April, no Habs fan should be disappointed. Now, if we don't make it by a fucking 2 points, then yes, it's gonna be a little heartbreaking. But none of us as Habs fans should be disappointed. We've had a great season so up to this point. A lot of mistakes, but that comes from rebuilding and
Hockey's a game of mistakes, man.
Exactly, and a young core. Guys, we should be proud of what we're seeing. But I think this is what I feel that this team in that dressing room, they're gonna fight till the end.
They're like look at the way Josh Anderson's playing. You think he doesn't want to? He wants to make playoffs badly. Just the way he plays on the ice, he wants to make it badly, man.
And that's why I don't see any big things happening come Friday. Now, am I being selfish of ruining the potential future that we can get? But then again,
I don't think it's ruining it.
Trade deadline is more to help teams that are trying to win this year.
Yeah,
it's July that's more important than this whole trade deadline.
I think moves are going to be made at the draft or at the free agent day more than this trade deadline. That's my personal feeling.
I think so too. I think it's going to be a very quiet Friday.
Either way, whatever happens, we're going to be there Friday night. We're going to go live. We have to meet our audience again Friday night after the trade deadline. But listen, we'll take the win tonight. And this week, we're going to have to pay a lot of attention to other teams. And hopefully, the teams that the Bruins are facing, Detroit, it's those 4 teams. Ottawa, the Bruins, now the Detroit, Columbus, actually add a 5th one, the Rangers. Hopefully, the opposition helps us out because, man, it would be good for the fan base in the city to not just see them in the standings, the final wild card spot. Man, it'll do us some good.
Well, we saw that at the mid-January, and then we just lost it easily.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's got to last more than a day. Awesome, bud. Well, that's all I got tonight. I don't know if you have anything else. If any of our viewers have any other questions or any last minute comments, listen. Thanks again for tuning in to a live post-game show. The Montreal Canadiens beat the Buffalo Sabres. Final score 4-3 in overtime. That puts the Canadiens at 65 points, tied with Ottawa. And the Rangers, with their win tonight, they're tied with Detroit for that final wildcard spot at 66. But Detroit takes it because they have one game in hand. Let's just see here. Elias says, if you all need a host, I'm available. We'll keep that in mind there, bud. And one last thing Alex wrote, I think the Habs need around 95 points to make the playoffs. They need to win 15 out of the last 22 games. I think it's doable, but unlikely. How many points did the last wildcard spot have last year? Oh, my God. I'd have to go back. I'd have to, let's hear March 2023. In April 18th of 2023, Washington had 91. And Detroit was tied with them. Remember? Detroit was tied with them. But how the heck did they? I think it's because I forgot what it was exactly. But it was, 90 over 90 points. Yeah, absolutely. Alex is Alex 95 points. Yeah, they Washington had 91 and they made it. And what's it? Tampa Bay had 98. So there you go. The Islanders in their division had 94. Yeah, so you're going to need over 90 points. Yeah, absolutely. And the magic number here too, it's a lot of teams. It's over 250 goals. Washington last year, they didn't score that much. Detroit scored a lot. They just couldn't get it done in the final minute. But yeah, they need to have a goals for of at least over 250, 260 goals. So that's I'm curious to see. Hey, it's crazy how the Canadians have the most players on the team with double-digit goals.
I know, right?
That's insane, and they're one of the teams with the most hits too. So, like, again, that's just part of the little progressions here. So, yeah. But if that's all we have, that's all the time we have left, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Curfew Boys podcast live on YouTube and Twitter or X. Thanks again to our sponsor Sunil from Habs Cave. Follow Habs Cave on Instagram. Telling you, you're gonna love his page. Anthony, you look tired in sunny Florida all day in the sun and in the heat. Must be good, huh? Life must be good, huh? Okay, all right. Yeah, go screw yourself. So once again, folks, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is absolutely free. Tell your friends about us. Please help us feel the love for not just us, but for our Montreal Canadiens. Follow us on what are we? Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and all of our episodes are available on audio format on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And thanks a million. Enjoy. Us with minus 30. LES too, loving winter so much. And enjoy sunny Florida, what's left. We'll see you on trade deadline. Try not to be too nervous that day.
I actually won't be available.
Okay.
I won't be available. I'm not going to be on a cruise with no internet. So,
what?
You guys, I probably will only that's why I'm freaking out. Because
Funopoli, like Joey says on Friends, or
it's gonna suck because I'm only gonna know what happens probably the day after. Oh fuck!
Find a way. You gotta find a way. Get a SIM card. Get steal somebody else's phone. Find a way. Even if you can't join us live, you gotta find a way. You gotta be in the loop.
Fucking think of that.
Enjoy that cruise, buddy. Until then, bye now. Good night.
Man, showing off. I just realized I